Hello and welcome to another video, and in this video I'm going to be looking at the Realme C30s. Of course, this phone was launched I think a week ago, and it's actually a budget phone. And actually, when it comes to smartphones, Kenya is a market pricing. And of course, the reason I'm saying this is because budget phones, this actually explains why smartphone companies are always flooding the Kenyan market with a lot of budget phones. They always make a lot of crazy sales. We've seen companies like Realme, we've seen that with companies like Techno, even Redmi, Xiaomi with their Redmi devices. Some pretty interesting budget phones you can really choose from. And of course, choosing one has always been tricky because of first, the pricing, and the competition is offering you a lot of crazy options to actually choose from. But of course, why would you go, for example, for a Realme C30s over, let me say, a Techno phone in this particular price segment? Realme has an answer for you, and of course that's why they sent me this review unit of the Realme C30s, which is what I'm going to be reviewing and just taking you through about in this video. The phone comes with a lot of other interesting specs. Of course, I'm going to be going into details that, of course, we're getting a 5000 milliampere battery, a 6.5 inch display. We're getting a fat side fingerprint mounted sensor, side mounted fingerprint sensor, which of course is the main key selling point for this phone. A reminder that we've actually done a number of unboxing videos, of so many budget phones, which you can actually go and check out on this channel. Yep, so back to the Realme C30s. So Realme is actually selling this phone, for 10,700 shilling. At that price point, would you really buy this phone? First things first, I'm going to just go ahead and show you what you're getting in the box. Alright, so let me show you what you're getting in this Realme C30s packaging. I'm going to just, again, as I said, we have some specs, of course, highlighted here. Of course, I'm going to take just, time and tell you more about that later on. But let's see what is in this box. Yep. There's a smaller box here, of course. Welcome to the Realme family. Some bunch of user manuals here. Then you get to see the Realme C30s itself here. Look at that. I actually love this nice, beautiful design there. Realme is calling this color, let me just check, stripe blue. So this is a stripe blue color option. There's also a stripe black color option as well. Yep. So let me just pour that on and show you what else we have in this box. Yes, there's a USB cable right here. It's not a USB Type-C cable. Again, that's expected considering it's just a simple budget phone. Then lastly, there's a charging brick right there. Yep, so basically that's what you are getting in this box. Nothing really much, some really simple accessories, the brick, the USB cable, the phone itself, and of course a bunch of user manuals here that you can actually make use of. Yep, so let's look at the phone itself. So I'm a minimalist, and of course I like what Realme has done with this device. I love the flat design all around, including each sides, right there. I love this flat look, flat design, of course, on this phone, the buttons as well, even the camera module right there at the back. Look at that. Looks really flat and really minimal, which I really like. And of course, these design elements come together to make this phone, a really stylish phone for its price. Of course, the build quality again, it's also quite good. Of course, despite this flat plastic frame, that Realme has added on this particular phone, it feels super solid when you hold, especially in your hands. The edges, ports, buttons, and all the other serious components have a precise, nice looking finish, which of course boosts the feel-good factor of this particular phone. Let's look at the display. So the C30s, is similar to what you get with almost any other entry-level smartphone nowadays. There's a 6.5 inch LCD with HD plus resolution display, and of course we're also getting a 60 Hz refresh rate. And the first thing that I really love and noticed, was the colors of this display, which look more vibrant, more than you expect, for a phone, at this price segment. Yep. So I really love, the color, the contrast, the brightness. Looks really good and are nice to use. And of course, the flat camera I just spoke about earlier is actually an 8-megapixel sensor, of course, with contrast, detection, autofocus, and of course an LED flash. It doesn't really get more basic than this. So again, for these cameras, you actually record these videos in 1080p at 30 frames per second. Yep. 1080p at 30 frames per second. You can actually switch to 720 as well, 480 as well for the same 30 frames per second. Again, Realme has added a 5000 milliampere battery on this particular phone. Other specs to check out, of course, include some 4 gigs of RAM. There's also a 3 gigs option, 64 gigs of internal storage. It's an Android 12 Go edition device, an octa-core processor, and of course a lot of other specs, which of course I'm going to be highlighting further in a separate article. For the Android Go, Realme doesn't really make so much noise about, but again, you're getting a number of pre-installed apps on this phone, including pre-installed Go apps, including of course Google Go. I've seen Assistant Go right there as well, and of course there's some bloatware you're getting as well, which of course you can actually get rid of. A number of other pre-installed apps you can actually see. There's Snapchat, Spotify, TikTok. They all come pre-installed, but again, if you really don't want to use them as well, you can actually have an option of uninstalling them from the phone. Yep. So I think that's it for this video. Nothing really to say more about what you're getting about this phone, but I actually love the entire finish. The fingerprint sensor right there that Realme is making so much noise about, the key selling point, and of course the only device we are seeing in this price segment with that side mounted fingerprint scanner there. Right, go is just below the volume buttons. There you go. Right there you have your SIM tray located right there. At the bottom you have your USB port. You have headphone jack, and of course some speakers right there. Yes, but overall I love the entire finish. I love the flat design actually on this phone. Of course there's some Realme branding right there at the back. So one thing I need to mention about the design, of course, of this phone. So the Realme C30 has a rather, squawky suitcase design, of course, with the ridges. I hope you'll be able to see that, running through the entire height of this particular plastic back panel. Of course, the C30s, it carries the same design element we saw on the C30, but of course the ridges on this particular phone actually toned down, making this phone looks, actually eye-catchy, if I could say, and more premium. So look at that for 10,700. And just as the name suggests, the Realme C30s is actually an upgrade to the C30. But when you look closely and take a deeper dive on this phone, is it really an upgrade really? Because the phone features a fingerprint reader. Well, but again, as I said, when you look closely at this device and get to interact with it, you realize that it actually uses the micro USB port and also has a much slower processor, compared to what we saw on the Realme C30. The rest of the specs actually between the Realme C30 and the Realme C30s still remain the same. And of course, again, as I said, a lot of things to like. This quickie suitcase design, as we call it, some really bridges running through the entire height of its plastic back panel. And of course, the design philosophy is basically the same thing, we are used to seeing with on Realme phones. So yeah, so tell me in the comment section, what will you spend 10,700 shillings, to buy this particular phone? Because when you look closely, this phone, the competition has things, phones like, for example, the Realme C30s here that we have, then the Technospark 8C, we have the Infinix 12i, the Redmi 10A as well, of course, then for the Technospark 9, Samsung with the A03, then the Redmi 10C. These are actually some of the phones actually found within this price segment, they're competing with the Realme C30s. So yeah, that's it for this video. tell me again, will you actually spend your money on this particular device? Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you on the next one.